Right, I hope it is recording. So understanding a media text, this is our second topic. And the expected learning outcomes should explain the meaning of text, media text, and paratexts, discuss the types of forms of media texts, analyze the elements of media texts and their functions, and analyze the major codes and conventions related to media. That is what we are supposed to do in this particular session. So what are media texts? Yeah. So pertinent questions that come to mind whenever media text is mentioned are the meaning of text, media, and then media text. So we need to know what is text because this is an area where, again, media studies intersect with the literary studies. And sometimes if you are not careful, you may not know exactly what we are talking about. So the terms text and media appear general and have roots in literary studies to prove the interdisciplinary nature of media studies. In fact, mostly media studies originated from literary studies. They actually originated from literary studies. And sometimes it is very confusing. It becomes very, very confusing to most students because it's now not clear. It's not clear whether we are talking about literary texts and what's the difference between the two. But are the concerns of media studies same as those in literary studies? Obviously, they are not the same. There is some differences because most literary studies are very, very theoretical. Yeah. So what then is the meaning of the term media? What do we mean by media? So then there's a video here. Maybe let me see if it opens. We can just watch it and see what they mean by. Now, these videos, ensure that you watch them, because if you don't watch them on the Moodle platform, you will not be able to proceed to the next section. So let's listen to this video and see.
Topic: what is media? English for media students. The word media comes from a word medium, and it's similar of media. It means a method of expressing something. It may also mean a way of expressing something. We move on to the next. Media may be singular and may also be used as plural. If it is you can say media is. You can also say what is media if it is used as plural. Everywhere. We can also say what
Inamaanisha simu.
media as plural. Frequently. Modern time, it is mostly used in similar form, like those of data or agenda. We move on to the next. What is media? Media is the different channels or ways in which news, entertainment, marketing messages, or other information.
Yeah. So from that, what is media from what you have heard? What is media if you are following? Yes, anybody who can try. It is now getting. I'm trying to get back to where I wasn't. Yeah, what is media from? Have you heard? Rachel, what is media? Faith, what is media?
Media platforms or tools used to communicate.
Yeah, from that video, that's what they say. We just want to hear from that particular video. Yes, Natalia, what did you hear? Faith says that the methods. Natalia, what did you hear?
Different channels or ways through which information is delivered to an audience.
Yes, that is according to that video. Now, we are not saying that's the definition of media, but that is what that video says. From the person who produced the video, he thinks that is what. Yeah, Rachel, what did you hear? Rachel Nyambura.
Yes, good evening, Doctor.
Who is that using Rachel now?
This is Bob using Rachel's gadget. Mine has some issues.
Okay. Have you signed that?
Yes. Yes, I'm signing using now my phone.
Sure, you sign. Okay. What what do you hear from the video?
Media is a channel where communication is passed through to the audience.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so that's what the author of that video says. But it doesn't mean that is now a media. That's why actually at master's level we need to be, very critical, evaluate the sources, read different people to see exactly so that we get to know the truth. Don't just pick any source and you go back. Like from that video, if you look at that video, that's what they say. But look at what Henkin 2008 says. Yeah, media refers to an endeavor to comprehend the roots, networks, networks or ways through which communities communicate and paves way to spheres of experience related to politics, mass culture, and all that, mass culture. Yeah. So it's about, the way of reaching out to, the way, you see, to comprehend the roots, the ways, the ways through which you reach out to communities to communicate. So look at media. Media is not a channel. Yeah. When look at what Henkin is saying, media is not a channel. Yeah. There is a message you want to reach out to these communities. But how do I, which way do I use to reach out to political and, other social communities? Yeah. So media in Henkin's perspective is not the material channel, but the theoretical concept or idea through which one desires to reach out to the political or commercial communities. It is a concept, it is a way of reaching out to, it is not what that video is trying to say. Yeah, like for us in literature, there are several genres you can use to reach out. You have a message, but if the message is very emotional, you use poetry. You see? Yeah. If you want to explain an idea very well for the audience to understand, you use the novel. Yeah. If you want immediacy, and create an immediate impact to the audience, you use drama. You see? So even those texts we are talking about, like now drama, poetry, and the novel, are also media. Yeah. So like that video, what that video is trying to, and that's why I'm trying to say, at our level, read widely, and also try to critique. Because at master's and PhD level, we want you to make discoveries. We want you to innovate. We want you to come up with new ideas. It's not just about trying to peddle what already exists. Like now, this video. Of course, they're trying to say something. And I placed this here deliberately for you to see that some of the sources we even find on YouTube or on internet, some of the sources are not correct. Like now we see what Henkin now, a serious scholar, Henkin is trying to say. You discover that media is not just a what? It's not just a channel as the other person. This is a reductionist definition. Reductionist, it is simplistic. That's what we are saying. This is a very simplistic definition of media, the one we see in the video. And you need to, at your level, as I've said, be critical. So McLuhan 1964 contends that the true significance of a medium is not the content it carries, but the way the medium itself changes our sensory experiences and by extension our society. The medium, you see, the way the medium itself changes our, you see, and that's why we are saying medium or a media is not just a channel. It's not just a channel. It's not just a channel. It's not just a method, the way that person was trying to say. There is a way you can use to reach to the audience. Any way you use to reach to the audience. And that's why you can see even a song can be media. Because it is a way of reaching out. Reaching out to social and political communities. So even a song can be a medium. And that's why when we talk about media studies, it's very broad. It's very broad. Because as we will see the definition of text, even a text, even if they say they are verbal statements, that means even a poem or a song can be media. So don't narrow down a text and media just to a channel. It is not just about a channel. How does it change our sensory experiences and by extension our society? And later we'll see now theorists who will come later. I think it's McLuhan again, even who talks about the medium is a message. The medium is a message. And by saying that, he is talking about the influence of a medium on the audience. The influence of the audience of the medium of the audience is what he's calling the message. So emphasis is on the way the message is transmitted rather than the channel or the content. The way the message is delivered to the audience. So media is not just that channel, but a manner in which we want to reach out to the communities. So in short, the structure of a medium is what eventually shapes human perception and social organization. The structure, how do you structure your message? In which manner do you structure the message so that it reaches out to the audience? For example, I have a YouTube channel, but it is very simple. Mine is very simple. But if I compare now my YouTube channel to people who have experience, a lot of experience in media, there's the way they make that YouTube channel to become so powerful. I think it's Mr. Ohaga was telling me, actually, a YouTube channel is a television. It's a personal television. If you just structure it well. So how do you structure it such that it's able to impact human perception and social organization? So the way the message is transmitted, that is media. It is a concept. It's not just a channel, the way that video is trying to say. And so when he talks about the way, the question of sensory experiences, when McLuhan talks about sensory experiences, it touches on a man called Fleming. Fleming talks about audiences that perceive. People learn in different ways. There are those who learn by touch. There are those who learn by hearing. There are those who learn by doing. And there are those who learn by sight. And that's why when you are now choosing a channel, remember a channel that reaches out to different kinds of people. Like me personally, I learn hands-on. I also learn a lot by sight. Personally, I learn by doing. When I do things, I learn a lot, and I also learn by sight. Of course, I like words, yes. But I prefer reading a PDF than a book, because a PDF to me, it is a sight, because of the way it is on the computer. But I cannot listen to a poem and just understand it. No, I'd rather read a poem. So I also learn by words. So know yourself, and so a medium should be the kind that also touches most of these five senses. And so, according to Fleming, there are those who learn by sight. Those are visual learners. We have auditory learners who understand what they hear. Then we have kinesthetic learners who learn by doing. And then there are those who learn by reading and writing. I also learn by reading and writing. When I read, I write down. When I write down, I understand very well. Yeah. So if you want to reach out to this writer, then you have to be a writer. You write a novel, you write a poem, you reach out to these ones here. But when you use now, for example, a YouTube channel or use a video, you reach out to those who learn by sight. Just give me some 2 minutes. Yes. So Fleming talks about those who learn in different ways, and so audiences are different, and so the way in which you reach out to them, will determine your impact. I don't know. Like most of the Gen Zs, yeah, most of them, they really like videos. They really like videos and all that. So sometimes if you want to reach out to most Gen Z generation, you have to also consider, a lot of videos and all that. So there's a diagram below. There is a diagram here. What does it say? So let's now identify the most appropriate media channel for AB. So the word audience has been misspelled. That's one thing I want you to know. But now looking at this, which channel is good for hearing? Let's talk about channels now, not media. Channels. Now, C. Which channel is the best for C? Just unmute and speak for C. Which channel will you use? Faith, which channel will you use for C? We're talking about a channel now, not media. The channel. Faith, are you in class? Faith Ndano?
Yes, I'm in class.
Which channel do you use for C? If you want to reach out to people who love hearing, where will you take your product? Which
You
channel?
can use
Yes,
radio.
radio. Very good. You can use radio. Bob, which one do you use for B? Those who like read, write.
You can use newspapers, books.
What is Lunani?
Yeah.
Yes, newspapers. Yeah, good.
Articles.
And
Books.
yeah, books. You can write
Face to face.
face to face is read right. Face to face. B, we're talking about B. I've said books, I've said newspapers.
Newspaper.
I'm saying face to face. Is face to face B? I doubt. Okay, let's now look at let's look at A. Site. Lunani, which is the best channel for
You can use television.
television.
You can do drama.
Drama. Drama is site. Is drama about site, Rachel? Is it Lunani? Is drama about
Yes.
site? Is drama about site? Television, that's okay. Maybe talk about video. Just say video.
Oh, yeah, video.
But drama, you can tell them to do what? They come up with something, you may not even, okay, but mostly people love drama. Most of them are what? Most of them are a D. They can do it themselves, They are hands-on. If you love drama so much, mostly, and you are likely to also act it out. These are people like hands-on. That's why they love drama so much. Yes, and so on. Yeah, so that's just a short exercise on that. So those are the channels. But as I've said, media, don't narrow down media to channel. There is some different. It is actually the media that determines the channel. Yeah, it's the way you want it to be presented. Media is more than just a channel. That's what we are saying. The way you want text to be presented. And I want to tell you also again at master's and PhD level, be very keen on detail. Yeah, be very keen on detail. What will make you to be a great scholar? You should be very, very keen on the small things that people take for granted. Like when we now even focus most of these theories as we delve into them, you will see they're just about the small things that people take for granted. Like the ideologies underlying our text. Most of them are things that we just take for granted. And sometimes taking too many things for granted is a sign of poor detail, and it's also a sign of lack of intelligence. Yeah. So be very keen on the small things. Be very keen on the small things. Watch the following 2 videos below and comment on how structure and manipulation of media determines audience reception. Maybe hii mtafanya, lakini nataka tuwatch tu kidogo tu mmoja hapa by this lady anaitwa Feni Kerubo. These are just songs. And as I've told you, even a song is media. This is how Feni wants to reach out to the Christian audience. And therefore it is media. Yeah, Feni Kerubo. This is how she wants to reach out to the Christian audience. Don't know if the volume is, don't know if you can hear from your end. Let's look at the costumes, look at the props, look at the dancing, yeah? The patterns, huh? Look at the setting, yeah? Look at the dancing. Can you see the video?
No.
You cannot see anything.
Yeah, we can't see anything. Personally, I can't see.
Faith,
I can't see anything.
you can't see anything.
If there's nothing.
Okay. I think you will watch it. Anybody who can see? Bob?
Yes, I can see it on my other gadget, but not this your presentation.
You can see it where?
Okay, I'm using another gadget, so I can
You have just
watch the
logged
video.
in, eh?
Yes.
Okay, and okay. So what you will do, you will watch it, eh? You will watch it at your own time. I thought you were able to see, but most people cannot see. But just watch the two videos and see how the structure, the patterns, yeah. Look at for example, the way Fanny is able to use different patterns, the dancers, the dancing styles, the costumes, the props, and the kind of collaboration, and the way the things, those aspects of performance interact with the message. And then compare it to Faustin Munishi's song, yeah? And see how structured. That's why, like you see, Munishi's is more than 10 years, and it has just about 2,300 views. But this one is just about 4 years, and he has 352,000 subscribers and 7.7 million views. And that's why we are saying, yeah, sometimes it's not just about, you see, the channel is the same. They are using a video, both of them, yeah. But the way you present, the how determines your clout. That's why I was saying media is not just about the channel. Don't rush to talk about the channel. I want to use TV. I want to, because you can have access to all those TVs, but as long as the how has not been perfected, it has not been done well, you will still not go far. So the way in which you want to reach out matters. That's why the aspect of structure becomes very, very important. It becomes very, very important. So, so you'll watch them, and then of course, you will be able to. Then the term text. So reference to text is mostly readers to written texts that pervade language and literary studies. However, media experts do not produce novels, poems, and essays. Hence, the need for appropriate definition of text. So in media, we're not just talking about written texts, no. Yeah. So a scholar called Stanzek, 2005, opines that text should take the meaning of work or opus. because rather than write texts, media practitioners produce texts. So for you people in media, you produce, you don't write texts, you produce texts. Yeah, you don't just write. So production has an aspect of creativity and audience impact or audience in the mind. So there is that element of audience, which is very, very important in media, and also have to involve, like even producing a film, is not just like writing a play. Production has a lot of practical aspects. Practical aspects. And that's why in media, we're not just talking about text. Text is not just written. So a scholar called Gennett, 1983, says that a text is an extended series of verbal statements, more or less likely to have inherent meaning. Yeah, so they may have inherent meaning or may not have inherent meaning, but is an extended series of verbal statements. So they are not just written, but they are verbal. So text refers to that which surrounding attributes and glows for proper presentation to the audience. Surrounding aspects, glows, sake of the audience. So there's an element of englosing, which means that there are other things that assist in the production of a text. It's not just the central content of a text, because they are talking about englosing. So a text can be englosed in something. But I've said it's a series of verbal statements. So Gennett's emphasis is that text is not just passive object, but a dynamic site where meaning is produced, negotiated, and consumed by the audience. Meaning is produced, negotiated, and consumed by the audience. So it's not just a passive object, but there is a lot when it comes to production of text. So meaning is produced, negotiated, and consumed by the audience. So it's produced through a process of production, and so we will come to that. We'll come to, I don't want to preempt what we are going to look at later. So according to Roland Barthes and Derrida, first of all, Barthes says that texts convey their meanings through a process of signification, that there are symbols that assist in production of text, signs and symbols. So then he distinguishes between denotation and connotation, that most texts have surface meaning and deeper meaning. And this is where now media studies also intersect with literature, that we have the surface meaning and the deeper meaning. Don't just look at things from the face value. Don't just look at things from the face value. Even a simple things like just a simple thing like an advertisement, it may have a lot of deeper meanings. Even news, just a newscast. There are many deeper things which conceal themselves in a newscast. So Barthes opines that texts such as photographs and advertisements are myths that embellish certain ideas and make them seem like common sense. You may just look at a pageant, a beauty pageant, somewhere on a perfume bottle, but there are a lot of hidden meanings behind that particular picture. Sometimes I look at photos on Facebook, find somebody has shared very nice advice about how people should keep relationships, they should not break them. But you look at how she has dressed, and you now wonder, what is this person really driving at? So a photo has a lot of messages, and that's why mostly be very keen the way you dress before you take these photos, and then you take them online. Somebody will just look at your photo, and a critical thinker will get a lot of hidden meanings hidden meanings. So so sometimes even TikTok, I go there, I just browse through, I see the way somebody is singing a good song, but the way he or she is dressed and the way he or she is dancing, there is a lot of hidden meaning. Yeah. And that's why most of these texts don't just focus on the surface meaning, also think about the underlying meaning. And that underlying meaning is the one we call connotation, other suggested meanings. So he contends the text is not just a form of communication, but the structure of the reality itself. Yeah. So for the reader, there is nothing outside the text. Yeah. By this, he means that human understanding of the world is enabled by language, science, and cultural backgrounds. So for the reader, these three are texts. One, language. Two, science. Of course, the photos and whatever are all here. And then cultural background is also part of the text. Yeah. So also consider the cultural background to get the meaning of a text. Yeah. So there is no fixed meaning outside a network of text. According to the reader, there is no fixed meaning outside the network of text. That is language, science, and the cultural background of that photo, the cultural background of that particular advertisement. Yeah. Yeah. So that means the political surroundings, the ideological surroundings also matter. A photo produced during the Second World War in Germany should not just be read outside that cultural background, that political environment. Yeah. And once you know that, you will be able to learn a lot. Yeah, to learn a lot. So he also says that all texts are unstable and full of internal contradictions and hidden meanings. Yeah. Whenever you get a photo, you get an advertisement, according to the reader, these advertisements, they are very unstable and full of internal contradictions and hidden meanings. Like when you watch that song, that song by Femi Kerubo, for example, why are the pots? Just when you watch the song, look at the pots, and then even those fly whisks, those fly whisks being used in the dance. Why is it that the girls are dressed in modern dresses, the female dancers, and the male dancers are dressed in traditional hides and skins? And then, of course, the song is talking about nyamaza, usilie, nyamaza. So there is a connection, a link between the words being used and the pots, the props being used there. There's something he's trying to say. Why are the houses? The houses are mostly grass thatched. We would have carried an African culture. No, this is a Christian. And so don't interpret again this song outside the cultural background of Christianity, because this is gospel. Wewe usiona kwa sababu wana dance, they are dancing in the African way, so you think this is not gospel. But then that's one song I really like. Personally, I also don't like these very slow songs. I like African culture, and I actually believe that even Christianity can be Africanized. Yeah, so that tuimbe two hymns. Of course, I'm a Christian, but I love Christianity, which comes to me in the African way, in the African medium. Yeah. Yeah, that's a gospel song I can really watch. But then, why is it that you look at the setting? Why do we have those the grass thatched structures? Why did the writer not choose, or the producer not choose modern houses? Why does he choose grass thatched houses in the background? And then you see the singer always with a pot. Which somewhere she uses the pot. Hiyo pot inamaanisha nini? Unaona? So the meanings, all texts are unstable and full of internal contradictions and hidden meanings. And it's upon you to interpret those fly whisks. So that we be an intelligent audience. So that you interpret the hidden myths, yeah, and also the hidden meanings in the text. So for media and literary scholars, be very keen on detail. Otherwise, you'll never get the message. Yeah, you'll never get the message. Like, for example, whenever a dignitary is coming, a dignitary is coming from another country. Why is it that it is a girl, a small girl, a young girl of about teenage, let's say of about 10 years, let's say 10 years, yeah, who goes to welcome the dignitary with the flowers? Whenever, let's say, when Obama came to Kenya, you see Uhuru came there, but there were girls of about 10 years who gave Obama flowers. Hiyo ni nini? Unaona? So those are hidden meanings. Why didn't they choose a married woman, for example? Why didn't they choose a married woman? Why did they choose a girl of 10 years to represent the nation? What are they communicating? Yeah. So internal contradictions and hidden meanings are expressed through texts. Yeah. So there is an activity here on influencers. So you will choose one of them, and then just one of them. Choose one of them, and even if you don't get the photo here, if it's Larry Medo or if you have chosen Bahati, if you don't get the photo on this link, look for another photo of Bahati. You can go online, look for a photo of that particular of Bahati, or the wife of Bahati. She's called yeah, and then you show how that photo. Try to analyze the myth behind that particular photo. Which myth is it trying to inculcate in the audience? According to Beth, a myth is a certain cultural value that a photo is trying to inculcate in the audience. It's not necessarily those myths are not those traditional stories. We're talking about some cultural values that the picture is trying to bring down or to inculcate in the audience. That's what we're trying to say. So just to use one of the influencers, this one has a list, but you don't need to rely on the photo here. You can go online. If you have chosen nameless, go online, look for a photo, and bring out the myth. So now we give you these activities. We want to ensure that you understand step by step. Online lessons are not like face to face. You move step by step and you test yourself as you move. And if you are very keen, it's actually a very good way of learning. Then we have something called a paratext. Yeah, what is a paratext? So paratext refer to extra information created by the producer to bolster the expression of the main message. Yeah. So that's why we talked about englosing. A text is englosed in something. So a paratext, yeah, is that extra information that is meant to do what? To bolster, to strengthen, to accentuate, to strengthen the meaning of the main text. So this includes the writer's name, the title indicating the genre, the preface, the dedication, the illustrations, the epigraph, the cover design, or interviews, or even commentaries. So according to Gennett, these are external contours. So Gennett says these are external contours. So generally, the paratext is external form, and the external is in quotes, because this proposition has been questioned, that is an external form. But Gennett contends that this is a questionable because much as the typeface paragraphing is also part of the paratext, typeface paragraphing, the presence or absence of footnotes. Footnotes are paratext. So as much as these are considered external, they are an integral part of the text. How can you say paragraphing is a paratext? And yet, paragraphing, like when you look at even like poetry, those stanzas, the way they appear, they contribute even to the meaning of the poem. Their mood. If the poem is has very long lines, that external structure, that external structure of long line, it suggests that that poem is either about sorrow, that's why the feeling, because you have to read slowly, and it suggests even the mood of the poem and the pace of the poem. Yeah, and the mood is part of the internal structure, the internal elements of poetry. So how can you say that stanzas are external? And so how can you say that a paratext is external? So that has been questioned, because paragraphing is part and parcel of the text. How can you say that paragraphing is a paratext? A paratext. So no text exists without paratext for effective expression. Yeah, even if you produce a film, you must have the name of the producer. Yeah, and like for us in scholarly writing, in fact, even the name of the writer matters. In academic writing, the name of the author can contribute to citation or not. Yeah, it can contribute. Like now, somebody like Stuart Hall. Yeah, Stuart Hall was such a great media scholar. Yeah, that any paper he wrote with somebody received very many citations. There's a chapter, I think, The Spectacle of the Other. It has more than 20,000 citations. Yeah. So how can you say Stuart Hall as an author is a paratext, and yet because of his reputation as a scholar, it makes the work to be read, you see? So that's why we are saying the externality of the paratext is questionable. So types of media forms. So this section will explore the types of media forms and analyze their significance in the light of the tenets of McLuhan and Manuel Castells, two scholars who have profoundly shaped our understanding of media's role in society. So media forms can be categorized broadly into oral, print, and electronic. Oral media relied on human memory and direct interaction of storytellers with the audience. Yeah. So these ones through those oral narratives, through the proverbs and whatever. So that's oral media. And then we have print media, the invention of the printing press ushered in print era, giving other forms like books, newspapers, and pamphlets a lot of influence. So these forms standardized knowledge and enabled mass circulation, which was central to the rise of the modern state and the spread of science. Yeah. So the modern state really used this print media, especially at the beginning. But as we move now, like during the Second World War, I'm told television contributed a lot to the spread of Nazism. Yeah. Like Hitler was very keen on those marches, the Hitler marches, the Nazi salute. And recently you saw what happened in China when China paraded its military. Television, yeah, it really, media contributes a lot to the expansion and establishment of the modern state. And sometimes they just parade those weapons to show how powerful they are, to scare their rivals and all that. So that's print media, but now we have electronic era, which introduced new forms such as radio, television, and film, which took communication away from static page and allowed for transmission of sound and moving images. And now, as we speak now, the media industry is moving very fast. And like nowadays, we need to acquaint ourselves with the social media and the new technologies that come through computer. So Marshall McLuhan, wrote a work called Understanding Media, and it was well successful in the analysis of media forms. He contends that the medium is the message. We will come to this. He says, so basically the way you use media, or the way you use text to influence society is what determines your message. It is the impact you have on the society that determines your medium, the influence you have on the society. How does the medium influence society? That is the message. So when he's talking about the message, just talking about the influence of your medium, the clout you achieve with your medium. That is so the influence. That's more significant than the content itself. How do you manipulate How do you present your content such that it has impact on the audience? And that's why somebody like Feni Kerubo, if you can have 7.7 million views just out of one song, that is somebody, that is somebody who is doing very well. That is somebody who has a lot of influence, on the audience. Kuongea tu hapa ati William Ruto hakuna, and that's just one song, so that is the message. That is the message. That's why people are now struggling for clout, and advertisers will even reach out to you if you can influence such an audience. Even on LinkedIn, when you reach at least 1,000, if you can get even more than 600 followers on LinkedIn, you start being classified as a public figure, because this is somebody who can influence a lot of scholars to follow him. That's why we people in the media industry, we should be ahead. I saw one of your lecturers, has more than 7,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, and I was very impressed. One of your lecturers, that is wonderful, and that is an impact. That is an impact. So that impact is the message. That impact. So when you talk about the medium is the message, is talking about that impact. Usifikiria ati anaongea channel, YouTube channel, kila mtu anaweza access. But which impact do you have on the audience? That is the message. Because you can just say one word and 7 million people are able to see it. So the medium is the message. The way you present it and the impact you have on the audience is the message. We will come to McLuhan. So he distinguishes the media forms in the following ways. Hot media. These are high definition and require low participation from the user, because they provide a rich sensory experience with little missing information. So with hot media, there are no gaps to fill. And sometimes they don't allow audience participation. Ujue to hot media, hakuna audience participation. When you read a newspaper, when will you respond? When will you respond? And even if you respond in an article, it will not be published. Maybe you are responding to what Ngugi said or what Dr. Ndavula wrote last week. But the national media may not even allow you, they will not publish your article because you are not known. They want to publish somebody who is a public figure and who is influential. Now, that's what I'm saying. With hot media, they are high in definition and require low participation from the user, because they provide rich sensory experience. They explain everything there, and then they will not give you a chance to respond. They may not give you a chance to respond, because we have talked about radio. Okay, like now let's say let's talk about maybe radio news. If they read news, nasema saa hii ni saa 7 na wanaanza kusoma hiyo news. So wewe unasikiza tu, yani it's like a lecture. You just listen na inaisha hivyo. So the linearity and detail of print encourages sequential and focused mode of engagement. Sequential and focused mode of engagement. Kuna introduction, alafu inasonga hivyo, wanaziarrange zinaenda hivyo, and so on. Now, cool media are low in definition and require high participation from the audience to fill the missing gaps. Ona kama television, because you watch the picture, the way it moves, you keep looking, and then sometimes they can also give you a chance. Like sometimes I watch TV interviews, like those ones in the morning, and then you are given a chance to even contribute. Like those interviews in the morning, you are able to contribute, and also so very high participation from the audience, and it requires high participation from the audience. You have to stick there. You have to watch the moving picture, the way it moves. Like sometimes hata news ikianza, of course you watch, and you can also participate even in the in what is being discussed. So it's lower visual fidelity compared to a photograph. Like a photograph is also complete. Inachorwa vizuri kabisa, inapigwa vizuri kabisa. But this is not like what is in television. Because they are shooting, of course they try to shoot, but sometimes it may still have its what. Sometimes even as they're doing that, unaona microphone inakuwa na shida pale. So it is not as perfect like a photograph. A photograph has been done perfectly na inaisha hivyo. But this one encourages a more active participatory engagement, as the viewer must work to complete the image. So you must also look at it properly for you to complete the image. For McLuhan, the shift from hot medium environment to cool one fundamentally altered human sensory perception and social interaction. But personally, I like the cool media. Me, when I have a television, I cannot listen to radio again. So ukiniambia kuna radio, sijui radio gani. Personally, I love cool media. Contemporary forms of media. Now, in the current generation, things are changing. There's something called the network, a nascent structure enabled by computers and communication technologies. So like now I'm teaching you through this medium. But even if you have connection issues here, sometimes I wonder why even my UCU 104 classes cries a lot. Because what I do, like even after this, like I can even get a short video, yeah, and place it on my YouTube channel, especially for those big classes. I just create a short video out of this session. Bila my story. No, just a short video of 15 minutes and place it on the YouTube channel where I just explain the content. So for you, even if you had an issue with the classes, there was connectivity issues, hakuna shida, you'll just go to my YouTube channel there, you watch the video, and because it is recorded, you can even pause and write the notes. Yeah? So things are really changing. Yeah? And that's why you don't need to stress. Like for big classes, I tell them not to be stressed. I will just share a video on the YouTube channel, and you will follow the whole class. Just sign the attendance and wait for the video. If I'm teaching a class of 290 and you cannot maybe hear me well, just wait for the video. So things are really changing. Yeah, things are really changing. Yeah. So unlike traditional mass media, network media such as internet, social media, platforms, and mobile communication are interactive. Hiyo ndio uzuri. Unaona? They are like Facebook, TikTok, and whatever. They are very, very interactive. And also LinkedIn, like social media, very interactive, multi-directional, and global. They are very global. You talk to people all over the world. Now, kitambo, it was very difficult for you to send a letter to Europe. Somebody will read and not even reply. But now, just on Facebook, on Twitter, you just talk to somebody and replies from United WhatsApp. Yeah, like now our relatives who are in Saudi Arabia, are in the US, or friends, you just chat on WhatsApp. Yeah, so very, very interactive and multi-directional and global by nature. So Castell posits that these new forms have created space of flaws that go beyond traditional geographical boundaries and social hierarchies. Even if somebody is a PS, I had my former principal who later became a PS, and I had his WhatsApp, and we could just chat in the evening. How are you? And he's a permanent secretary. And by then I was just a teacher. Tunaongea tu, no, tunaongea tu. So that's what I'm saying. Contemporary forms of media, have really transformed the world. Yeah. So what are the elements of media text? So a media text is any piece of media that can be analyzed, to understand the messages it communicates and the ways it is constructed, the ways it is constructed. So media texts have moved away from traditional written text to embrace new forms such as films, television, shows, new articles, video games, advertisements, and social media content. So I also want you to think about social media content. Don't just focus on the classical media texts. Studying media text entails analyzing them into smaller elements to demonstrate how they shape meaning, represent reality, and affect the audience. So the first element is ideology. Yeah, every media text has an ideology behind it. And what is ideology? These are values, beliefs, and assumptions about the world that people believe. Yeah, this is how a family should be. Family must start through a wedding. That's an ideology. Yeah, that is an ideology. You must have a wedding to start a family. That's just a belief. Others believe for you to be important, you must be rich. For you to be respected, you must have a Mercedes Benz and a BMW. No. And so because of that, you will see them privileging certain social classes in the society. So even you just watch advertisements, you watch even a newscast, there's an ideology which is being inculcated. Yeah, there are certain things that media owners believe in, and most media owners have an ideology. It can be based on class, it can be based on religion. Yeah, like now we are talking about the issue of same-sex marriages and heterosexuality. And media houses already have a stance on these issues, so that maybe if you are too heterosexual and you keep talking about heterosexuality, and then they have decided to support same-sex relationships, they will just do away with the heterosexuals. Like now, because of Donald Trump in the US, there are a lot of these issues. Like during the days of Biden, you could not talk about same-sex marriages, and people had taken positions already. And that is an ideology. So an ideology is a value system. It's a value system, a value system which is valued by someone. Athasa 1971 says that media texts serve as ideological state apparatuses. No. So when you watch an advertisement, you watch a song, like the song we have just watched, okay, you are not able to see. But if you talk about Kerubo there, that is a Christian song. It has a Christian ideology, and you must analyze it knowing that there is an ideology. If it is an Islamic text, kama ni mahubiri ya Kiislamu, already you know that is Islamic ideology. So it's a set of beliefs that are underground, and it's upon you to try and interpret them. So these ideologies are often presented as common sense, but it's not common sense. Come one time somebody was analyzing a certain singer, and somebody who attended there was a competition of music, and he came number two. And then a journalist, when they were coming now, they are now presenting news. Somebody say, not all that glitters is gold. He used this proverb on that singer who had attained position 2, and they had gone to see him at his house, and I think he was not rich, so they brought a picture of his humble abode, and then somebody said, not all that glitters is gold. Personally, I was not happy. This is somebody who has made an achievement. And why do you just believe that success is just about material wealth? And I could see from that particular newscast or telecast, the media house, the ideology behind that is just about success, is equal to class. These are people who believe you cannot be successful if you are not rich. That's the ideology. And it came out very strongly in that telecast. Instead of showing how this person has been exemplary to society, the newscast was trying to portray him as a poor, you see, and therefore not successful. And I was not happy with that, So every media text, you try to find out and some of them are so, like that one, it was so open. Even without a lot of knowledge in these theories, I could see the ideology come out very, very, very clearly. Yeah. So a media text can reinforce an existing social norm or challenge it. So by analyzing a text ideology, we can uncover its hidden political and social messages. Yeah. And that will be our job. So please be very keen. Whenever you watch news, you will see either the government is inside there trying to push its what ideology or the opposition. And through these media houses also, they take sides. And they decide what to black out and what to elevate. Yeah. And what to elevate. So and it depends on the ideologies that they hold. So ideology is a very important element of media text. Then production and institution. Number 2, media scholars contend that analysis of a media text must also consider the institutional context in which it was produced. Yeah, so look at the institution. Like if it's the Royal Media, yeah, there is what they stand for. Yeah, if it is KBC, there is what they stand for. Yeah, so Moscow 2009 observes that the economic, political, and social context of the media institution influences its productions. Yeah. And this one I think is very clear. You saw in the last election, it was very clear which media house was supporting what. The reason why even a house like Standard is not doing very well during this regime, they just know that there is something. Maybe the owners are not really, they don't like what. Maybe the owners are not in good books with the government. That's why the advertisements are not paid and business is closing down in the Standard and all that. So the ownership of media organizations, funding models, government regulations, and industry conventions all shape the content we see. Yeah, they all shape the content we see. For instance, a news broadcast for KBC is likely to differ with that by Royal Media. So don't just stick to one. Like personally, I don't watch one. I move across, even international news. If I want to hear something against Israel, I choose Al Jazeera. If you go to Fox News, you just hear the praises for Trump. If you go to CNN, yeah, they criticize the government of the United States. Yeah. So watch different and sometimes even rumors. Just to watch podcasts and the channels, YouTube channels on rumors, and they will tell you something better. Sometimes if you want to hear anti-government messages, you just look for a channel, just a YouTube channel, and you hear something interesting that you cannot get on the mainstream media. So then number 3, representation and semiotics. Presentation refers to how people, places, events, and ideas are portrayed. How are women portrayed? How are Black people portrayed to white audiences? How are the Chinese portrayed in the United States? And sometimes you discover that tribalism and racism affects representation. So media texts do not just reflect reality, but they construct it. They can construct a certain image about Black people. Even jokes too and comics. Unaona tu, like you find some tribes like Luya are portrayed as watchmen. Yeah, unaona, that's what we call representation. Unaona tu like Papa Shirandula, unaona jamaa alikuwa watchman tu na anajaribu kupresent Waluya with this very low quality jobs. And then how are Jaluos, Luos represented? How are Akikuyus represented? Yeah. So be very keen on such things and stereotyping. Of course, we are talking about Stuart Hall, and these are realities: tribalism or ethnicity, negative ethnicity, and racism. Certain people are constructed to appear in a certain way. So the producers select, organize, and change the information to create a particular version of the world. So be very critical as a media consumer and as a media professional. Kwa sababu kama sisi hatuwezi tukaguide sasa wengine, nani atawasaidia? So sisi lazima tuone mbele, tusaidie wengine wasipotezwe. So the process of representation is often analyzed through semiotics, the study of signs and symbols. we will come to representation. And with the birds, he talks about connotative meaning and denotative meaning. We must also look at the deeper aspect of Papa Shirandula. For example, what is the connotative meaning of Papa Shirandula? How does Papa Shirandula represent certain communities, certain communities in the country? And when you use such theories, you'll unearth some very, very unique, deeper meanings in these particular texts. Audience reception. So the audience does not receive the media text the same way. Neither does it understand it as the producer intended. The producer creates media text for the audience, but how the audience utilizes and interprets the text is not predictable. And here we'll come to Stuart Hall with his tenet on encoding and decoding, and you'll see how messages are interpreted by the audience. Then the narrative is another element. This is the story being told, the crucial organizational element of media. So the way a story is told, it involves a sequence of events, character development, and the structure or plot is very important. So you don't just present anything. It has to be in a sequence, and they should have a structure. So narratives in media often follow established conventions, such as a 3-act structure in films or the hero's journey. The hero's journey. I don't know if you have read The Hero's Journey by Campbell. There's a professor called Campbell who came up with the hero's journey. The hero's journey. The hero lives, the hero passes through tests, and then the hero will go and then return victoriously. So we have Vladimir Prop, who comes up with 31 narrative functions or actions of a myth or of a narrative. So this literature now, actually Vladimir Prop, this is a theory in literature which talks about the 31 narrative functions. That's why I'm telling you there is a literature and media studies intersect a lot. The only difference is that for us in literature, we focus on written text, but you look at audio and visual text. But some theories, like now Vladimir Prop, this theory is taught in oral literature, and maybe that is why with Thai media students, they need to have some units in literature. Because I can see now, like this one here, Vladimir Prop, if he had done some oral literature in second year, this is I don't know, those who came from, there's somebody from KU. Where is this student from KU? In Akoapi? Are you around? Leah, are you the one? Is it Leah? Leah, were you in KU? Is Leah around? Does not seem to be speaking. Leah, are you in class? Maybe I'm speaking to myself. So Vladimir Prop, that one narrative functions. So the functions exist in a logical sequence, and if some are omitted in a particular story, for example, the hero leaves home, the villain receives information, and the hero is tested, and the hero is tested. So there is a way then the media stories are told. So in this part here, I will encourage you to go and read the work of Frank Becker. We need to get that source for you so that you read media codes and conventions, but basically they are linguistic codes, the use of language, dialogue, and written text. We have visual codes, use of imagery, color, composition, camera angles, and lighting. The coding is very important. The color codes you use are very important. Then you have auditory codes, the use of sound, music, and sound effects, very important, even in those advertisements. Then narrative conventions, the way a story is structured, e.g. plot, character development, and setting. Then we have genre conventions, the shared characteristics that place a text within a specific genre. For example, horror films, and all that. So you read the work of Frank Becker. I will look for a source and share with you so that you delve into media codes and conventions. And that is the last part of our class. So it's a long class, but it's also a long session, and we are already behind by one. We need to look for time. Maybe next lesson, if I get time, we can go through 2 sessions so that we get at par with the rest of the other classes. Because the first week we did not learn. So if we cover session 3 and 4, we will be able to get at par with the rest of the classes. So there is that essay called Spectre. I think in the next class, ensure that each one of you will make a presentation on that essay, The Spectacle of the Other by Stuart Hall. Ensure if you can have slides, I can allow you to share. I can allow you to share the slides. You make a presentation, and then I think the question is about is it an essay or a term paper? Is it an essay or a term paper? You can write, present, make a good presentation, prepare slides and present, and then after that, ensure you write a paper out of it. Just write a paper and submit. I would like to make that one your cut 1. So presentation, and then I mark the paper. At your level, we don't want cards to be. I do not believe at your level cards should be multiple choice. For example, you need to know how to write a good term paper. You need to start showing proper academic writing skills. You should write a good term paper. For example, I know focus on the issue of why difference matters and stereotyping. But my objective there is to see if you can. I would like to see if you can read an academic paper and understand, because there is a lot of reading you will do when you get to second year. When you are coming up with the concept paper, you will do a lot of reading on your own, and that's why it is not good for me to be doing a lot of reading for you. No, at masters, as you move up, in fact, some of those topics I will just be giving them to some of you. You go read, you come and present, and then before I expose you to the notes, because you need to learn how to read these great scholars on your own and understand them. Because some of them are difficult to understand, and when you start research, you'll be doing it on your own. That's why you should not encourage a lot of spoon feeding at your level. Any question or concern?
Dr. Nyongesa, can you kindly repeat what you say that we should do the presentation in the paper?
Are you in class? Niambie tu ukweli. Ulikuwa class?
I'm in class, but I've not got what you said.
Ni nani
You have
anaongea?
said that we should
Ni
do
nani
a
anaongea by the
presentation
way?
on the spectacle of
Nani
gotten
anaongea by
the
the way? Is it
spectacle.
Natalia? Natalia, sema tu ukweli. Were you in class?
Yes, I was,
But
but sijakusikia vizuri.
nisikia vizuri.
Yes.
Let me stop sharing now. Yeah, let me stop sharing so that I can now see you well. How many are we in class? Okay, there are 6 people. Yeah, so I've said the assignment on spectacle of the other, I would like you to go and do it. You can even prepare slides. Read why different matters, why difference matters, summarize it, and also you can also do something on stereotypes. Read something on stereotypes. Stuart Hall talks about racializing the other, how Black people are represented, by white media. especially those athletes, yeah, how they are presented. Also, it talks about slavery, how slaves were represented in advertisements and all that. Yeah. So I want you to read those two aspects: stereotyping of Black people and why difference matters, and then prepare some slides, and then I will allow you to make presentations in the first hour. You make presentations. After that, go and write a paper out of it and submit. That is part one. I don't want us to do ABCD. Those multiple choice items, those multiple choice questions are not for masters people. Masters, from my experience, you need to learn to read those scholarly works on your own and understand them. And speak, because like theoretical framework, when you are doing your nini, when you do your thesis or your proposal, you'll have a section called theoretical framework. You'll read alone. Literature review, you'll read on your own. So if we start just doing everything for you, yeah, like when we start semiotics, you'll see the way I will do it. So see the way I do it, and then start learning how to do it, how to come up with the tenets of a theory, and you now apply it to a topic. For example, you can even choose some of those advertisements and you apply a theory like representation. Yeah. For example, here they are talking about, Stuart is talking about race, but you can choose to look at class issue, or you can choose to look at ethnicity, how some of those advertisements present ethnicity. Yeah. And it can be a master's topic. Yeah. But also be careful with ethical considerations, so that maybe you don't, your research does not cause uproar. Unaona? So, but those are some of the things you need to think about. I told you, for us, we use theory to apply on literary texts or on oral literature, but for you use theory to apply on media texts. That's the only difference. Lakini ikiangalia hii field yenu inafanana na yetu kabisa. It's very, 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 very similar to literature. But for you now, you apply on media text, and they can be social media. That's why I want you also to think about social media text. For example, how is stereotyping expressed in TikTok? Unaona? And that is a concept, a tenet by Stuart Hall. Representation, stereotyping related to TikTok. And unataka mjue kusoma those scholarly works, because they will form your theoretical background. They will form your theoretical background. So you need to learn how to read those scholars and understand them on your own. If I give you a text by Roland Bates, are you able to read it on your own and come up with the tenets? Unaona? Now, so at masters, we don't want you to be used to those multiple choice. Mtafanya tu as you move through the portal. But personally, I would like you, when it comes to cuts, I'd like you to just read something on your own and apply it on something, and you write a good essay. Because your proposal, in fact, your old thesis is an essay. Do you know you can write a thesis of 250 pages, and it's one essay. It's one academic paper, It's one academic paper. So at masters, I want you to learn how to read and apply. Si tu mambo ya ABCD. Hizo zitawasaidia tu to see whether you have learned. But actually, I don't want you to focus so much on multiple choice. You need to invent things, and you invent through writing proposals and, going out to study. So you will need a more serious writing skills than ABCD. So I may not really, in fact, of the three cards, I doubt if I will give you any multiple choice. Najua nyinyi ni wachache, lakini sitaki ati ni pia, I don't want to take you on a ride. That's what I'm saying. That I give you a cut of 15 marks, I will be taking you on a ride. Wakati unaanza research, ndio utaona kumbe Dr. Nyongesa aliniwest. Because you will have to read on your own and then apply these theories on certain topics huko nje, on advertisements. You can apply them on even on social media like TikTok, on Twitter. Unaona? Na ni theory. So I want you to also learn to master theoretical framework. Very important. Have a strong foundation in theory, because in the modern era, a theory is a canon. And I was thinking at ni imaginations too. Like look at Stuart Hall. Those of you have read Faith. Have you read something on Faith Danu? Have you read something on Nene? On why difference matter? Have you started reading? It is Faith who asked for it. Have you started reading?
Yes, I have.
And see the way he is applying it on the racial relations in the United States. It's very practical. Because looking at the theory ni vitu tu ni imagination, these are things that happen. So mtu asikudanganya kama Murko mwenye anasema ati theorizing is just about imagination. Theory is about things that happen. So, and these canons, actually, sometimes they make our studies very, very practical, very, very practical. So don't have a pessimistic attitude towards theory. Natalia, have you started reading something?
Yes, I have.
You have seen those pictures, and those pictures, if they're not clear, just go online and Google. Look for they are there. We have colored ones on Google. You go to Google and you choose image. If it is Christy James or whatever, you just go there and go on Google and you will find them. You'll find the real ones. The colored ones are there, and you see. Mary Ann, have you started reading Stuart Hall?
Yes, I have.
So many. I think next week, before we start, I will tell you you'll present, and then we are going to grade that one. I'm going to liaise with Odell to grade that assignment as Cat 1. And you see, presentations and writing papers, those are more serious assignments than hii mambo ya ABCD. ABCD, fanyeni ABCD, lakini that is just to test yourself and see whether you have understood a section. But I don't want those ones to be the cards. Any other question or concern? Although most of you are coming late, like today, Mary Ann, you came late, and you rarely come late to class. Leo tuliwangoja sana. I was happy. Faith was the first one. Natalie was the second. Alafu mkachelewa sana. What is it? Do you want us to be starting late? Do you want us to start late? Sarah hajaingia. Sarah ameingia kweli? Sarah has come. Also, Sarah, how are you, Sarah? Ongea. And you can even, by the way, you can even show us your face. Najua hata hatujawahi juana vizuri. People, I don't know if you are allowed to, this is Zoom. Mary Ann tu ndiye alituonyesha first lesson. I saw Mary Ann and who? The first class, I saw very few people, but very soon tutajuana tu. Sarah, say something. So you are able to come in.
Hello.
Yes.
I was unable to join. I was having troubles joining, but I was able to join later on.
That you are able to join later on.
Sarah.
Are you on the Google platform?
Yes, I was enrolled today.
Today, you are enrolled today, huh? That's
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so welcome to class. Who is missing? Are we supposed to be 8? I think there's somebody who is missing. Bob is the one I'm reading in Nyambura here. Who was in KU? Kuna mtu alikuwa KU. Ni nani? Yes, Bob.
Okay,
Yeah.
Daktari. Okay, thank you for the presentations. It was Leah. She sent me her apology. Our phone went off, so she's the one. She's not from KU, but she's an alumni from Ranga University.
She's an alumni from Ranga University.
Yes, not KU.
There's somebody who was in KU. I'm saying that because when you applied, when we approved on the board, there was somebody who was from KU. Alikuwa nani? There's somebody who applied. She was Mary Ann.
Oh,
Mary Ann.
the girl.
Yes.
Who was from KU? Alikuwa nani?
I'm not sure if it was Mary. There is a lady who left this class and went back class. I think she might be the one. Her name was Mary.
Mary who? Mary Nyambura or Mary who?
I don't remember the second name. I just remember Mary.
She did the first degree at KU.
I would assume she's done because she's the only one who has left this class now.
But did she attend? Has she attended any classes?
Yes, she attended the first class. Then after that, we had a conversation and she felt like she was better placed in the linguistics class. So
she changed, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because there's somebody I saw who had come from. Also, she left, eh?
Yeah.
Thank you for the information. Okay. Yeah, so we want to finish. Any other question? Back to close. So thank you for attending. I hope it has recorded. I hope it has recorded the class. So let's continue. And then I think there's somebody who has never gone to the Moodle platform. Whenever I check, it even tells me how many times you have interacted with content, when you interacted with the content, and this is the right way. When we do it through Moodle this way, even the Commission of University Education, this is what it wants. When they come, they check the links, they check the attendance. So let's do things the right way. Otherwise, those other things we were doing, like this link I'm using today, it's actually on Moodle. Those who went through Moodle, you will be able to see it. And then Leah, how are you? Leah, you are on and off. Ulikuwa umeenda wapi? Leah Wamboi, can you say something? Have you followed the lesson up to the end? Leah, I'm talking to you. Have you followed
my
the class?
phone had got an issue.
Hello? I can
My
hear you.
phone had got an issue. That's why I said
Your phone had an issue.
yeah.
But Zoom is working for us. I think Zoom. So just ensure that you work on your phone so that you attend. But I hope it has recorded. If it has recorded, I'll also I can share the video with you. But work on your technology. Work on your technology.
It's
Lunat,
okay, sir.
have you followed the lesson?
Yes, I've been following.
So ensure you go on the portal. I think I've already accessed session 2 and do the activities that are there.
Yes.
And let's keep interacting on our CJM group. Yeah, so I wish you well. Let's have a great evening. Let's have a great evening. I think we can now leave the class.